Hello and welcome to World News. Let's begin by getting you the very latest in regard to the crash that took place in the United States, the deadliest in the last 20 years. Now, this is in regard to both the black boxes that have been found, while US President Donald Trump and his allies are blaming diversity, equity and inclusion initiatives for contributing to the tragic plane crash outside of DC on Wednesday night, without providing any evidence of a link between the two. Donald Trump claimed that FAA's DEI policies had included hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. Trump repeatedly has cited DEI policies, a favorite boogeyman at the Federal Aviation Administration, as having some role in the plane collision during the White House remarks. He also blamed Democrats and advanced inclusive workplace policies. While the cause of the crash isn't yet known, Trump implicitly has equated racial, gender and other forms of diversity with a lower quality federal workforce.
My administration will set the highest possible bar for aviation safety. We have to have our smartest people. It doesn't matter what they look like, how they speak, who they are. It matters intellect, talent, the word talent. You have to be talented, naturally talented geniuses. You can't have regular people doing that job. They won't be able to do it. But we'll restore faith in American air travel. I'll have more to say about that. I do want to point out that various articles that appeared prior to my entering office, and here's one. The FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. That is amazing.
The deadliest air crash in nearly a quarter of a century in the United States. Donald Trump appointed Christopher Rochellio, a 22-year FAA veteran, as acting administrator of the agency. Mr. Trump described him as a highly respected person and the Federal Aviation Administration's most recent administrator. We're talking about Michael Whitaker, who resigned when President Trump took office last week. He had held the job for 15 months. And India's real GDP, as far as this is just ahead of the budget session, the GDP growth for the financial year 26 is projected to be 6.3 to 6.8%, according to the economic survey of 24-25. The forecast suggests economic conditions will remain sluggish next year, and India's GDP grew by an impressive 8.2% during the financial year 23-24 and continued to be the fastest growing as far as the major economies are concerned. The economy grew by 7.2% in 22-23 and 8.7% in 21-22. US officials are probing whether Chinese AI startup DeepSeek bought advanced NVIDIA semiconductors through third parties in Singapore, circumventing US restrictions on sales of chips used for artificial intelligence tasks. As per reports, congressional offices, meanwhile, are being warned not to use DeepSeek, an upstart Chinese chatbot that is roiling the American AI market. This as the bipartisan leaders of an influential congressional committee has said that NVIDIA chips should be hit with tighter US export controls following revelations that the company's technology was used by Chinese AI startup DeepSeek. And US President Donald Trump has said that he will follow through with his threat to hit imports from Canada and Mexico with 25% border taxes known as tariffs from the 1st of February, that's tomorrow. But he added that a decision about whether this would include oil from those countries has yet not been made. Speaking to reporters in the Oval Office, Donald Trump said that the move was aimed to address the large amounts of undocumented migrants and the fentanyl that comes from across the US borders, as well as trade deficits with its neighbors.
We'll be announcing the tariffs on Canada and Mexico for a number of reasons. Number one is the people that have poured into our country so horribly and so much. Number two are the drugs, fentanyl, and everything else that have come into the country. And number three are the massive subsidies that we're giving to Canada and to Mexico in the form of deficits. And I'll be putting the tariff of 25% on Canada and separately 25% on Mexico. And we will really have to do that because we have very big deficits with those countries. Those tariffs may or may not rise with time.
And Donald Trump has once again issued a warning to BRICS nations, threatening 100% tariffs on their exports if they attempt to replace the US dollar as the dominant currency in international trade. Trump has repeatedly expressed his stance against de-dollarization, warning that BRICS countries must maintain that the US dollar's role as far as global trade, or otherwise they will have to face economic consequences, following the growing calls within the BRICS bloc to shift away from the dollar. And staying with news of Donald Trump, well, his interest in buying Greenland is not a joke. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said in an interview on Thursday, adding that acquiring Greenland was in the U.S. national interest and needs to be solved. Trump has expressed interest in making Greenland an autonomous territory of Denmark, a part of the U.S. Since his re-election in November, he hasn't ruled out using military or economic power to persuade Denmark to hand it over. And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that President Donald Trump's desire to acquire Greenland and retake control of the Panama Canal is driven by legitimate national security interests stemming from growing concerns about Chinese activity and influence in the Arctic and in Latin America. And Donald Trump's nominee for National Intelligence Director refused to call the whistleblower Edward Snowden a traitor, but sought to rein in her unorthodox views on foreign dictators and opposition to electronic surveillance during a tense confirmation hearing that could sink her nomination to oversee the country's sprawling intelligence community. Meanwhile, Kash Patel sought to allay concerns about his fitness to serve as the FBI director at his Senate confirmation hearing that took place on Thursday, but declined to engage with questioning that explicitly asked whether he would use his position to investigate some of Donald Trump's top political opponents.
The priority of the FBI, if I'm confirmed, will be to ensure that our communities are protected and safeguarded and our children have parks to play in and not needles to walk over. I'd like to welcome my father, Pramod, and my mother, Anjana, who are sitting here today. They traveled here to get here from India. My sister's also here, Nisha. She also traversed the oceans just to be with me here today. It means the world that you guys are here. Jesse Grishna.
I went with former Congressman Dennis Kucinich, who had been there many times before and who had met with Assad before. A number of topics were covered and discussed, and to directly answer your question, yes, I asked him tough questions about his own regime's actions, the use of chemical weapons and the brutal tactics that were being used against his own people.
In no way does Russia get a pass in either your mind or your heart, or in any policy recommendation you would make or not make.
Senator, I'm offended by the question because my sole focus, commitment, and responsibility is about our own nation, our own security, and the interests of the American people.
And 8 more hostages held by Hamas in Gaza have been released amid chaotic scenes as part of the ceasefire deal with Israel. 3 Israelis and 5 Thai nationals were handed over to the Red Cross by Hamas before being transferred to Israeli forces and taken to Israel. A total of 110 Palestinians were later released from Israeli prisons, including 32 with life sentences and 30 minors. Israel delayed their release in response to the way the hostages were treated as they were handed over. And Syria's newly appointed president, Ahmed al-Shara, said on Thursday that he will form an inclusive transitional government representing diverse communities that will build institutions and run the country until it can hold free and fair elections. Shara has addressed the nation in his first speech since being appointed president for the transitional period on Wednesday by armed factions that ousted the former Syrian president Bashar al-Assad in a lightning offensive last year.
وسنعمل على تشكيل حكومة انتقالية شاملة تعبر عن تنوع سوريا برجالها ونسائها وشبابها، وتتولى العمل على بناء مؤسسات سوريا الجديدة حتى نصل إلى مرحلة انتخابات حرة نزيهة.
And 3 more incidents of anti-Semitic graffiti were found across Sydney on Thursday morning, leading Australian political leaders to warn of an escalation in hatred and decry as terrorism explosives found earlier in a trailer on the city's outskirts. Now, law enforcement earlier this month found a list of Jewish targets together with it was a lot of power gel, an explosive that was used in the mining industry in Sydney's outer suburb of Tyrrell. This is what the state police really had to say, and the amount uncovered could create a bomb with a blast zone of around 40 meters. That's about 130 feet, according to the officials.
That the people of New South Wales are appalled by this behaviour, and I want them to know that New South Wales Police are doing everything possible to catch these people, and over the last week and a half have arrested 10 people for malicious damage, fire damage, graffiti attacks in New South Wales. No stone will be left unturned or upturned in order to catch individuals who are responsible for these activities. Obviously, police will answer questions and give information about a very serious ongoing inquiry into a potential terrorist event in New South Wales. This represents undeniably an escalation in race-filled hatred and potential violence in New South Wales. We're very concerned about it.
Now, 23 EU members who also belong to NATO are likely to agree to raise the defence spending target above the current 2% of the national output at a June summit of the alliance that will set a new level. That is what European Council President Antonio Costa had to say. And dozens of soldiers took part in military training near the front line in the eastern part of Ukraine. The drills focus on sharpening urban combat skills that were held in Donetsk region and organized by the 108th Separate Mechanized Battalion known as Da Vinci Wolves for their newly recruited troops. And the rebel leader whose fighters have captured Goma, let's just get you business news coming in, and this is in regard to Deutsche Bank, and that is the latest that we have for you in regard to business news coming in. Let's just get you the very latest from the very latest, and this is in regard to the CEO of the bank on Thursday has said that Germany's largest, this is as far as the largest lender, could exit some businesses after fourth quarter and full year profit fell more than expected, with investment banking revenue gains eroded by legal provisions and restructuring costs. The bank also abandoned a key cost target but announced plans to buy back 750 million euros, which is equivalent into over 780 million US dollars in shares. The results prepare the ground for a crucial year as the CEO strives to meet a series of ambitious profit and the cost targets that he set for the once troubled bank. Some analysts, these analyses that are coming out which really are suggesting that they have really been skeptical that the bank will reach all its goals. Now, Starbucks and its union representing more than 10,000 baristas have agreed to bring in a mediator to help resume stalled contract negotiations and reach a deal that they said in a joint statement on Thursday. Talks between the two parties, which began in April of last year, were halted in December before a final round with the union saying that the coffee chain had yet to bring a comprehensive package to the table. According to reports, retailer Costco Wholesale will increase pay for most of its hourly U.S. store workers to more than $30 an hour. The company will increase the hourly pay for its top-of-the-scale employees over the next 3 years, with the pay rising by $1 to $30.20 in the first year and an extra $1 each in the subsequent 2 years. The pay hike comes after Costco Teamsters union members said earlier this month that they voted in favor of a nationwide strike as they entered final round of talks to reach a new contract ahead of the deadline of the 31st of January. And with that, we're slipping to a very short break. Back with a whole lot more on the other side. Stay with us.
Add light and a touch of style to your home with Luma Lantern from JML. The light and motion-activated solar-powered lantern light. Just peel and stick for easy installation. The built-in solar panel charges it during the day and it automatically switches on at night, then turns off when it's light. Choose from 3 different brightness settings for the perfect hassle-free lighting this winter with Luma Lantern. Only $14.99 from Asda, Morrisons, Robert Dyas, Tesco and JMLdirect.com.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family and less time worrying about the numbers. Which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
And that money could help with funeral costs or even as a gift for the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
You got them all right. That's amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 5808 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Hey, look at our Simply Safe home security system.
Let's install it.
We need another camera.
What for?
The collectibles. What?
9 got a camera each.
Yay!
Systems start from under £200 when you buy a professional monitoring plan. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Our first year as a family flew by. And now, I want to make sure he'll be financially protected for all his birthdays to come. That's why I'm calling Smart Insurance.
Hi, how can I help?
Hi, I'd like a quick quote for family life insurance.
OK, you can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000 depending on your age.
That's great.
If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And could help my wife pay off the mortgage.
And with our Smart Family Guarantee, you'll have peace of mind.
That's good to know.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cashback on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0808 141 5855 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
Welcome back. Let's get you the latest, and that's according to Reuters. SoftBank Group that is in talks to lead a funding round of about 40 US dollars. This is 40 billion US dollars in artificial intelligence developer. The OpenAI at a valuation of 300 billion US dollars, including the new funds. The funding comes as Chinese startup DeepSeek has launched an inexpensive AI model that has caught the world's attention and challenged expectations of what it costs to develop and to deploy artificial intelligence. The United States Department of Justice has sued to block this is Hewlett Packard Enterprises' $14 billion US deal to acquire networking. This is the Gear Maker Networks, arguing that it would stifle competition. According to a complaint that was filed on Thursday, shares of both the server maker and also Juniper Networks closed about 2% lower. The antitrust lawsuit marks the first since President Donald Trump took office last week. Now, Intel on Thursday posted that the December quarter results that beat analysts' low expectations, while its forecast for the current quarter revenue missed estimates as the chip maker grapples with demand for its data center chips and as investors wait for a new CEO. Shares of Santa Clara, California-based company climbed 3.8% in after-hours trading. This is last year. Intel's shares that lost about 60%. The company's quarterly results and the forecasts were overshadowed by questions about its long-term strategy and efforts to replace its former CEO, who was ousted last month. Two interims, these are co-CEOs, currently run the former #1 US chip maker, which is struggling to catch up to its rivals, especially AI chip maker NVIDIA. And Samsung Electronics has in fact warned of sluggish sales of its artificial intelligence chips in the current quarter due to US export restrictions to China, and as it worked towards launching an improved version of its high-end chips. Advanced chips used for AI have been the bright spot in the week as far as memory chip market is concerned, but rival SK Hynix is NVIDIA's main supplier of high bandwidth memory chips that are used in artificial intelligence. Alphabet's Google must face an antitrust lawsuit brought by a Texas-led coalition of US states accusing the technology giant of unlawfully dominating digital advertising markets. A federal judge ruled on Tuesday. Well, this is a Texas-based US district judge has denied and said that this really opens a Tab Mountain view as far as California-based Google's bid to dismiss the case is concerned, rejecting for now its arguments that the plaintiffs did not have a standing as far as that lawsuit is concerned. NASA has greenlighted the Axiom 4 mission to be piloted by India's group captain Bhanshu Shukla. The Indian astronaut will be joined by 3 others on the 14-day mission to the International Space Station. The group captain, said to become the second Indian to go to space after Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma's journey on board, this is in April of 1984, will take on the role of the pilot on the Axiom Mission 4. The AX-4 will go to the International Space Station from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida no earlier than spring of this year. Former India skipper, we're talking about Virat Kohli's return as far as his returning to domestic cricket, that's the Ranji Trophy, ended in a disaster as he could occupy the crease for only 15 deliveries and got out after adding just 6 to the scoreboard. The 7 International Olympic Committee presidential candidates hoping to replace Thomas Bach faced the media in Lausanne. Now, this is in Switzerland on Thursday after presenting their case to the 100 IOC members that will decide their fate. Their pitches took place behind closed doors and the speeches were not broadcast, and there were no questions taken afterwards. The only set-piece campaign event before the 20th of March poll in Greece let each candidate speak for about 15 minutes only to the members of the IOC, who include royal family members and former heads of government, plus sports officials and former athletes as well. Now, Fire Aid brought together artists from generations and genres, from Green Day to Joni Mitchell to help raise money for Los Angeles' areas. This is the wildfire relief efforts that are to, raise money, from Billy Crystal delivering a rousing speech and Joni Mitchell performing a movie. This is quite a moving version of both sides now. And Rod Stewart had the crowd inside the dome singing to his tunes. Now, Forever Young and also other songs, well, it was Stephen Stills and others that brimmed, they also performed about the song What About Us. Marianne Faithfull, the British pop star, muse and old soul, who inspired and helped write some of the Rolling Stones' greatest songs and endured as a taut singer and survivor of the lifestyle that she once embodied, has died. She was all of 78. She passed away on Thursday in London. Her music company, Republic Media, announced her demise. Anthony Mackie as well as Harrison Ford posed for photographs next to a giant version of Captain America's shield in London's Trafalgar Square on Thursday to celebrate the upcoming release of their film Captain America: A Brave New World. The latest Marvel movie marks the first feature with the cast and crew there in full attendance at the red carpet. In fact, what is really being said is that it also stars Chris Evans and also will have other people on board. And that's a wrap on this edition. Lots more coming up on the other side.
Don't you have watchdog lock? No! What's that? Don't be a victim, yeah. Get watchdogs, 3-star solid secure diamond locks. They are anti-pick, anti-snap, anti-bar. बोले तो fully anti-chore. जब तक जोड़ेंगे नहीं, तब तक छोड़ेंगे.
Because your brain really matters.
Reach and clean the impossible with the Starlife Crevice Brush from JML. The versatile cleaning solution for hard-to-reach areas that your standard cloths and brushes can't clean. Made with thousands of tough, durable bristles, its slim design makes it the perfect cleaning tool to tackle narrow corners, tight spaces, and hidden crevices in your kitchen, bathroom, and beyond. And with 2 in a pack, you can get the cleaning edge you need thanks to the Starlife Crevice Brush. Only £9.99 from Asda, Dunelm, Morrisons, Tesco, and JMLdirect.com.
In our February draws, players in one winning postcode will each win £12,000 every month for 12 months. Sign up before midnight tonight.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
For 11 years, the NDTV Detol Banega Swasth India campaign has driven conversations on how hygiene is the foundation for good health. And now, as one of India's longest running public health campaigns on TV, NDTV Detol Banega Swasth India campaign is at the World Economic Forum, Davos 2025. The conversations have been around health, hygiene and sustainability. So let's take a look at what all has happened here.
देखिए 11 करोड़ टॉयलेट बनने से करीब 60 करोड़ लोग जो ओपन में शौच जाते थे उनकी आदत बदल गई है। तो मोदी साहब ने सिर्फ टॉयलेट नहीं बनाए, 60 करोड़ लोगों की आदत भी बदल दी है। और आदत बदलने से क्या हुआ, जब पहले बच्चे बाहर जाते थे तो हर साल करीब 30 लाख बच्चे उनकी मौत हो जाती थी। उनको कहीं ना कहीं बीमारियां लगती थी, डायरिया होता था। उसमें से तो यानी 5 साल 10 साल के अंदर करीब 6, और पहले 5 साल का तो रिपोर्ट WHO का है ही है 3 लाख का, मगर अभी 10 साल हुआ था, करीब करीब 6 लाख बच्चे, अभी उसका रिपोर्ट आया नहीं है, मगर उतनी तो जान बची है। एक बहुत बड़ा इफेक्ट उसके अंदर हुआ है। महिला जो फिर सशक्तिकरण की बात आती है महिलाओं की, तो महिला उसको अगर बाहर जाना है, सोच के लिए जाना है, तो अंधेरा हो जाएगा जब वो जा सकती थी, उनकी सिक्योरिटी की बात आती थी, उनका प्रॉब्लम होता था। तो ये जो सुरक्षा की बात है महिलाओं की, वो ये टॉयलेट घर में बनने की वजह से उनको अभी अपनी सुरक्षा के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा एक आधार मिल गया है, उनको अभी वो टेंशन नहीं रहा है। और पूरे दिन अगर सोच के लिए जाना है तो अंधेरा नहीं हुआ तो बाहर नहीं जा पाएंगे, जब तक उनको ये गंदगी अपने शरीर में रखनी पड़ती थी। आज उसके वजह से उसके शरीर में और कोई ना कोई बीमारियां लगती थी, आज वो भी उसमें से उनको छुटकारा मिला है। तो ये दोनों प्रोजेक्ट की वजह से महिलाओं का सशक्तिकरण का भी बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा मोदी साहब ने सॉल्व कर दिया है।
महिलाओं के लिए ऑफ कोर्स एंड इवन बच्चों के लिए। सर एक आखिरी सवाल, पानी एक पीने के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है, बेसिक राइट है। सर एक आखिरी सवाल जो आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी, हाइजीन, चाहे वो हाथ धोना हो, हमने कोविड के दौरान देखा, उसके बारे में आप क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे? क्योंकि हाइजीन इज़ द फाउंडेशन ऑफ गुड हेल्थ, और मोदी जी भी विजन 2047 विकसित भारत की बात करते हैं, उसमें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है।
देखिए आज छोटे बच्चे भी, उनको भी अभी आदत हो गई है। अब उनका हाथ वो आएगा पहले स्कूल से तो पहले हाथ धो देगा, वो पहला गिलास धो के ही पानी पिएगा, कचरा होगा तो उठा के वो डस्टबिन में डाल देगा। शायद हमारे उम्र के लोग इतनी चिंता नहीं करेंगे, उतनी चिंता वो बच्चे कर रहे हैं। मोदी साहब ने बच्चों से ही शुरू किया है, ऊपर तक ले जा रहे हैं, और आज पूरे देश में स्वच्छता के लिए सबके मन में जो भावना बनी है, उसी की वजह से हमारा देश स्वच्छ हुआ है और स्वच्छ रहेगा।
और आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा, बच्चे ही हमारा फाउंडेशन है। हमसे बात करने के लिए थैंक यू सो मच सर।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
We have with us Minister of Food Processing, Mr. Chirag Paswan. He's really the driving force ensuring that there is food for all. Chirag, very important question. अगर हम बात करते हैं hunger index की, India doesn't stand really good, but you have been talking about the access, equitable access of nutritious food for all. How is the ministry ensuring that food reaches all, because that is really critical?
फ़र्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं मानता हूँ, और ये हकीकत भी है, कि हमें वो क्षमता है फूड फॉर ऑल, और ना सिर्फ क्षमता हमारे अपने देश के लिए है, बल्कि ग्लोबली भी हम लोग सामर्थ हैं कि हम लोग दुनिया की भूख को हम में वो क्षमता है कि हम लोग वहाँ तक उनकी मदद कर पाएँ। ऐसे में बस चीज़ों को स्ट्रीमलाइन चैनलाइज करने की ज़रूरत है, अपने उत्पादन को बढ़ाने की ज़रूरत है जो भारत की धरती में क्षमता है, और साथ ही में उनको प्रिजर्व करने की ज़रूरत है। पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट लॉसेस हम लोग के लिए हमेशा से हम लोग के लिए कंसर्न रहे हैं। मुझे खुशी है कि पिछले 10 सालों में हम लोग की सरकार ने कई ऐसे नए कदम उठाए जहाँ इकोसिस्टम बिल्ड किया विद लॉट ऑफ न्यू कोल्ड चेन्स कमिंग अप, जहाँ पे चीज़ों को लंबे समय तक आप प्रिजर्व कर सकते हैं। वहीं नई टेक्नोलॉजी का भी हम लोगों ने सहारा लिया। इरेडिएशन एक ऐसा यूनिट है जहाँ पे इरेडिएशन के माध्यम से पेरिशेबल फूड आइटम्स, भले वो वेजिटेबल्स हों, वो फ्रूट्स हों, उनकी लॉन्जिटिविटी को बढ़ाया जा सकता है, लंबे समय तक उन्हें फ्रेश रखा जाता है। तो ऐसे में अलग अलग टेक्नोलॉजी, अलग अलग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के माध्यम से हम लोग पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट लॉसेस को भी हम लोग काफ़ी हद तक नियंत्रित करने का हम लोग प्रयास कर रहे हैं, और ये कलेक्टिवली ये सारे प्रयास हम लोग को और मजबूत करेंगे ग्लोबली अपने आप को एज ग्लोबल फूड बास्केट के तौर पे प्रस्तुत करने के लिए। मैं मानता हूँ स्वस्थ रहना हर एक के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है। आप जब तक अपनी सेहत का ध्यान नहीं देंगे, आप अपने परिवार का नहीं दे पाएंगे, इवेंचुअली आप अपने देश का नहीं दे पाएंगे। तो एक हेल्दी देश के लिए एक हेल्दी परिवार, और हेल्दी परिवार के लिए हर व्यक्ति का स्वस्थ होना ज़रूरी है। विशिंग यू ऑल अ वेरी हेल्दी लाइफ।
I just wanted you to reflect a little bit on something that we are doing in NDTV. As you know, we've got a Banega Swasth India campaign, and you talk about healthcare very, very closely. Just to let you know, we've got a bot which we've got out in 4 different languages where we are talking about the importance of hygiene. It's out at the World Economic Forum. Could you tell us about, when it comes to the rights of women and the welfare of women, hygiene is a critical issue?
I think that one of the biggest misconceptions is that women and health are issues which are not comparable till you look at either offtake from pharmaceutical companies, or for that matter offtake with regards to innovations. If I contextualize what you're doing in hygiene, in the year 2000, 2011-12, subject to correction, possibly 2010, the World Bank came out with a report as to how lack of sanitation in India was costing a negative impact of 6% on our GDP. Now, those are not just rights based on women, their welfare and their protection. But if I do speak on that, one of the alarming things that one of the channels in India had brought out was rape and sexual assault on women in that time period was up to 40 to 43% only when they went out to defecate in the open.
That's right,
So I think that the issue of hygiene is not an issue of cleanliness alone. It has to do a lot with the economic loss to a company, to an economy. If these elements are not looked into, it is also an issue of female safety. It is also an issue of nutrition. So if you look at the issue, let's say, of diarrhea deaths, if you look at the issue of malnutrition, people believe that this has to do predominantly with what kind of food is being infused into the body politic. But the problem is that a lot of issues with regards to malnutrition can also find this first step of correction if we look into hygiene issues.
Just as access to clean water is crucial for health and hygiene, nutritious food is equally vital, forming the foundation of a healthy and thriving India. With a vision of a Viksit Bharat towards empowering a stronger, self-reliant nation, Reckitt's Ravi Bhatnagar spoke with us. Let's go across to Mr. Ravi Bhatnagar, Director External Affairs and Partnerships, SOA Reckitt. Ravi, Vasudev Kutumbakam, the world is one family. You know, that resonates deeply with what the Detol Banega Swasth India campaign is trying to, put the message across when it comes to hygiene on the global platform. How do you envision this initiative fostering a culture of health across borders?
Very much this whole concept of Vasudev Kutumbakum actually resonates with our coming to Davos with the key messages on hygiene. And we have been creating a movement towards achieving the vision of Viksit Bharat or Viksit India at 2047. And one of the very instrumental thing is practicing hygiene in our daily lives to prevent disease, conserve resources and support eco-friendly practices. And third is raise awareness and raise the consciousness. At Davos, one of the very important things what we want to take up is making sure this whole concept of Vasudev Kutumbakam stays very strongly, which was also a part of the larger discussions during the G20, where we talked about hygiene is the foundation of good health and universal need that transcend borders, beliefs, and cultures, aligning with the Indian philosophy of Vasudev Kutumbakam. The world is one family. So we have seen during COVID, we have seen during MERS, we have seen during various H1N1 influenzas and other, epidemics and pandemics. Like they don't stay just in some regions. Many times they are cross-country, cross-continents. And it's very important, like we seriously take hygiene as a foundation of, good health. And hence, Detol is there this year at Davos 2025 to launch a very, very interesting, AI-based chatbot, which is called Hygia. Hygia is a goddess of hygiene in Latin. And we are bringing Hygia to the world. And it will be launched in Davos in 22 Indian languages, along with the 3 international languages, which are French, Spanish, and Mandarin.
Ravi, as India envisions a vibrant future with Viksit Bharat in 2047, how do you see the role of Detol Banega Swasth India campaign evolving, and contributing meaningfully to this ambitious vision? And what steps do you think the program will be taking to support India's progress to a more sustainable and healthy future?
I'm very happy to tell, we have started this journey for the Viksit Bharat 2047 on the very important day when the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, actually talked about the Clean India mission from the Red Fort. We were among the first few companies in India who actually committed around 100 crores for Banega Swasth India. And we have been continually investing towards this. One of the very interesting and important things for the Viksit India for 2047 is to support Government of India on 500 plus aspirational blocks in India. And one of the key focus basically is on the health and hygiene, how we improve the health and hygiene narrative. By 2047, we envision a nation where hygiene is a priority, health indicators have significantly improved, and communities are empowered enough to sustain these practices independently. Detol Banega Swasth India will remain a committed partner in advancing India's vision of a cleaner and healthier and sustainable future. We have also come up with a very interesting pledge this year at the Davos 2025, where we are talking about hygiene is the foundation for the good health and a step for India's vision of the Viksit Bharat 2047. Together, at Detol and at Reckitt, we strive for a cleaner, healthier, and climate-conscious world with every citizen playing an active role.
And now let's explore the future of healthcare, delving into transformative power of AI, digital health technologies, and value-based care. So we have a very important person today here with us because Banega Swasth India really is about making India truly healthy. We have with us Dr. Shyam Bhishan. He's the head of Center for Health and Healthcare World Economic Forum. It's a pleasure to have you with us, sir. You know, to begin with, I think AI, the theme this year is also intelligent age. How do you envision AI when it comes to healthcare, or would you like to share any best practices which you really think have brought about a change?
Yes. First of all, thank you, Ambika. Thanks for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a really important question. As you know, the overall banner for our annual meeting here in Davos is collaboration in intelligent age. So AI is front and center. So AI in our area, in our center of health and healthcare, is such an important topic for discussion here, because we do see that AI can completely transform the healthcare. So it's not only going to change a few things here and there, but it's going to completely transform the healthcare. We are looking at using AI to create better access, better health equity, better outcomes from the health delivery, as well as gain more efficiencies. So we are actually exploring AI as a transformational tool for healthcare.
You know, we have a campaign called Banega Swasth India, which is now in the 11th year, longest running public health campaign on television.
Yes.
And it also talks about the role hygiene plays. And we've seen it in COVID, we've seen it even for other, pandemic after pandemic. How important do you think is the role of hygiene when it comes to One Health? I mean, when we say health for all.
Yeah, it's very important. I think hygiene plays a big role, especially when you talk about infectious diseases. And we saw that during COVID, as you said. So hygiene plays a huge role. We want to make sure that people are doing basic stuff. And one of the basic stuff is just washing your hands. So you make sure that you wash your hands with, proper antibacterial soap for at least 60 seconds before you eat or before you use your hands on your body. So I think it's important to make sure that, we highlight hygiene through your Banega Swasth India campaign.
Quidco gives you cashback every time you shop on over 5,000 brands. It always pays to Quidco. Sign up and start saving today. Visit quidco.com.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family and less time worrying about the numbers. Which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
And that money could help with funeral costs or even as a gift for the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
You got them all right. That's amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 5808 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
At Tesco Mobile, unlock even better phone deals with your Club Card. Get our 30 gig SIM for just £12.50 a month with Club Card prices, saving you £30. Better yet, your club card lets you unlock more than just great deals, like frozen prices and no EU roaming fees until the end of your contract. It pays to be connected. Search Tesco Mobile. Every little helps.
I'll fix him, love. Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen. Which reminds me, I need to protect the life we've built. That's why I'm looking into smart family life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please. OK. You can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000, depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And it could help my husband with the mortgage.
Just like families, not all life insurance is the same. That's why we offer the Smart Family Guarantee.
That's good to know.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cash back on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you'll also get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 5753 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
Don't you have Watchdog Lock? No! What's that? Don't be a victim, yeah. Get Watchdogs. Is Star Solid Secure Diamond Locks. They are anti-pick, anti-snap, anti-bow. बोले तो fully anti-chore. जब तक जोड़ेंगे नहीं, तब तक छोड़ेंगे.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
Banega Swasth India campaign is at the World Economic Forum Davos 2025, and we have a very special guest with us, someone who's been with us on the campaign since 2016.
Yes, I'm very proud of it.
Thank you so much. A passionate climate warrior, somebody who really has been working from the cause, and we've been seeing it for the cause. Looking at what we're going through, we're witnessing climate